Let me know. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's DJ Ty from AGI Pro DJ. It is, I've been at work for like 10 hours already this morning. Huge news today. Rane has announced the brand new Rane 72 Mark II and the 12 Mark II. We just all witnessed a fantastic set this morning by the Magnificent DJ Jazzy Jeff, who is joining us here in the chat this morning. Jeff, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Really appreciate it, man. The live set was dope. That was great.
Thank you. You're
welcome.
I have had the gear for a little bit of time, so
a little bit.
I've gotten comfortable on it. So it's whenever you can get gear and it becomes second nature to you, it always helps the performance.
Yeah, it does. I know you've had the gear for a little while, and that intentional slip we did back in the spring where everybody got to see it. That was pretty cool.
Yes.
Right on. So very cool. I'm also joined today by DJ FLIPSIDE, who is the DJ for the Chicago Bulls, also part of the Jump Smokers. What's up, DJ FLIPSIDE? How you doing, man?
How you doing, guys? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. A lot of love. Thanks. Mad respect out to Jazzy Jeff, one of my influences. So honored to be here.
Right on. Thank you so much for joining us. Anybody that doesn't know DJ FLIPSIDE, he's part of the Jump Smokers. He's the official DJ for the Chicago Bulls. He does a weekly show, or a daily show, 5 days a week on Twitch, which we've really been enjoying during the COVID days. So thanks for streaming that and bringing all the love on the live streaming and the new normal. God, I hate that phrase, but it is what it is. So I'm also joined today by Jay Cunningham. Jay, I apologize. I do not know your official title with Rane. Can you give yourself a little introduction?
I can indeed. Thanks for having me. It's the brand marketing manager for Rane. So thank you very much for having me. And
thank you.
We're having a great day today. I mean, what a way to announce new products with the great Jazzy Jeff. That's the way to do it. So we're having a very good day today for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't figure any other way to announce a new product than with the Magnificent. So, Jay, can you share with everybody the view metrics on that set this morning already? Is that public knowledge, or?
Sorry, just broke up. Just one more.
Can you share with everybody all the views and the metrics on Jeff's live stream this morning? How it's been reached out globally, or?
We're talking like big stadium numbers. So we're talking around sort of 80, 90,000, something that kind of size. So, and as most people know, when you're doing live streams, those numbers comfortably double and triple over the next few days. So, it's going to be some pretty phenomenal numbers by the end of the week, I'm sure.
That's fantastic. That's really fantastic. So, do we want to start with Jeff? Do you want to give us a little insight on your feelings of the Mark II platform? I know the upgrades on the mixer are a little more subtle than the 12, and the 12 is a pretty significant update. Do you want to give us your not so Reader's Digest version of the updates?
Well, listen, the DVS mode is great because I kind of think that people who are more used to Serato and the way that Serato feels kind of can fit right in. The first time that I used the 12s, it was the best thing that I've ever spun on. Realizing that for 30-something years, I have always had to worry about needles jumping and vibration and issues like that. It took a really long time for me to understand that I don't have to worry about that. And that is a level of freedom of any DJ that has ever played with real vinyl. That's a level of freedom that we've never had. So
right.
It was an automatic comfort level for me that, it took a matter of days and I didn't realize what I was spinning on. So, it's like I said, I was blessed to have this gear for a little while to get comfortable on it. That is second nature for me. And I think as important as the equipment is, it is actually important for the equipment to become great and it really be about the music. And that can only happen when you have great equipment.
For sure. Especially when you have something that's so tightly integrated with the software, like it's that instant comfort level. And like you said, with the DVS mode, it just feels different, right?
Yeah,
It feels
yeah.
way different.
Yeah.
Flipside, how do you feel about the DVS mode? Are you using that, or are you still using it in HID?
Right now I'm still using HID mode, but like for me, I'm super comfortable with that as well, because I mean I was coming from, you know, turntables from vinyl from like starting way back in the day. So then when eventually coming to the Rane 12s, like it was like a no-brainer. DJing for the Chicago Bulls, they wanted to have regular turntables on the floor, but we couldn't do that because, you know, basketball players are jumping and everything like that. So when we have the Rane 12s, yeah, like Jeff said, yeah, there's no vibrations, there's no bass. You know, you have to worry about cutting the low end out of your monitor. You don't have to worry about doing anything like that. Like you can actually be in the crowd with people, and it's no problem. When we're doing all these EDM shows, where it's a big stage, huge monitors, and you're trying to do it even with Serato and regular turntables, you just can't do it, because even jumping up and down, like, you know, at 3, 2, 1, let's go, you know, even something so simple as that, you got to be like, you got to fake jump, because you can't do it. So then having the 12s, you can actually have that full energy like CDJs would, and you know, it makes it so comfortable for someone who does that world and still does turntablism. And be able to translate both things. I think the 12s is like the best thing out there.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I've got a great story actually. When I first met you, Jeff, a year or so ago, when we did you did the Brixton event, and we came down there early and we were helping set up. And Zimmy, the sound guy, was setting everything up, and he was just walking to the sound engineer, and he said, "Can you make sure you turn the bass down in the?" And he caught himself and realized, I don't need to turn the bass down. And I remember speaking to you after, and it was a real, I'm actually kind of getting goosebumps. It was a real moment, because you said, you know what, that is the first time I cannot remember how long that I have heard and felt what people in the club are feeling, because I've always had to compromise, turn the bass down. So, you know, that was a real magical moment for me.
I used to feel so bad at festivals, because you would watch the guy before you and you would hear his monitors and they have subs on the stage. And I'm like, oh my God, this is great. Because what people don't realize is your monitor mix is your version of the club. I don't hear what everybody else is hearing. So, you know, you have this massive sound system, and sometimes I have these tiny speakers on the stage because I can't worry about the vibration. And it would feel, I used to get so upset that you would have to, like, can you turn the bass down a little bit? No, you need to turn it down. Matter of fact, cut the subs off. And I'm sitting here like, okay, so now I have to project the energy with speakers this big to a stadium full of people. And that was really the first time that, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm kind of like, I think I'm going to turn it up a little bit more. I think I'm going to turn it up a little bit more, you know, and there was no, you know, no vibration, no anything. So.
Yeah, you feel it in your body, like totally different when you can hear the music properly. And then hearing that, you perform better. And like, these are the tools that help you get there.
Yep, all day.
Yeah, for sure. It's, you have that CDJ experience, but like you said, Flipside, they wanted turntables on the floor, right? That's the show that people want to see. They want to see a DJ DJing.
Yeah, there's people who don't. I'm sorry. There's people who don't understand what a controller is when they're looking at it. Like an everyday person looks at it, they don't understand that that's what a DJ is. But when they see these, they can still understand, oh, this is like the records. And they some people think they're actual still records on there just because the knowledge isn't there. But then they see you controlling and DJing, and then they're like, oh, he's a DJ, he's mixing, he's scratching, oh, that's cool, you know. And these are like visually, you get that as well.
Yeah.
Right, and no disrespect to controllers, no disrespect to
not at all.
DJs. I mean, that's but when you have a tool that feels like a turntable, looks like a turntable, lets you perform with the tools that, you know, we've all grown up with, it's total game changer. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's you know, the digital age of DJing has brought some phenomenal creativity and enabled DJs and the art form to constantly move forward. Whether you're a turntablist, whether you're a drum and bass DJ, whether you're just a kind of selector, whatever it may be. And for me myself, I came from vinyl, and I still love that tactile feel but I love the digital world and I love all the tools, creative tools that it gives me. And for me, it just kind of joins those dots together. You know, you get all that benefit of that kind of foundation turntable feeling, but you can still do all the beat jumps and the loops and all the kind of crazy stuff that you can do. So yeah, for me, it's about kind of just joining those two worlds together.
Yeah, and I'm in a weird position because I am a classic geek. So I still love my vinyl. I still love my turntable. I still love the way the needle sounds on records. But the geek in me is the frustrating part of, as much as I love those needles, they caused me so much pain and anguish over the years of someone bumping the table. Of, you know, I came from the era where when Will and I used to do these tours, we had dancers and we used to have to section your riser on the back half of the stage so that they could dance on the front half. And sometimes you would be holding the turntables while it was shaking, hoping that it wouldn't jump.
Right.
And, you know, that, like I said, that's years and years of anxiety that's gone now.
Yeah, and like you just said, Jeff, that elimination of that anxiety is huge, because one needle skip, you know, one bump, anything like that, and it just it's painful.
Yeah.
It's emotionally painful.
Even connecting the needles to the turntables, like even like that's, I'm only getting one channel, you know, like none of that's there. You know?
Right.
Yeah, I'm one of the Red Bull 3 style judges, and at the finals in Chile, one of the DJs connections of his needle went out, and he was winning, and he lost. So you know what I've always said is, not only are you worried about human error, you were worried so much about technology error, you know, and you know, you're DJing outside in the stadium and the wind blows.
Yeah.
You know, I DJ'd in Vegas and, you know, it was 104 degrees out.
Right.
You know, so these are all factors that behind the scenes we have to worry about, but the people that are coming to see you play, they don't know that you have this level of anxiety.
They don't think about it at all.
Not only am I hoping that I'm good, I'm hoping that the equipment is good.
Right. And you know, honestly, with the 12s, it doesn't matter. You can, like you said, Jeff, in Vegas, you can play in the sun, you can play in the heat. So what if the vinyl warps? You just put on new vinyl.
You're good.
It doesn't matter. So I mean, as long as everything doesn't overheat and shut down. But you know, playing direct sun with turntable and needles, you're in trouble.
How about New Year's Eve and confetti all over the place?
Right.
Then you got to blow the confetti off the records and all that. Oh man, that's always such a nightmare every time.
Yes.
Well, and then the fact that we lost 44.7s, I'm sure no longer making the 44.7s. That was a big deal. Yeah. And they're being really, orthophone needles left for DJs. So, phase is always an alternative, but I think that this addition of DVS mode, I mean, Jeff, let's talk about DVS mode just for a second. Do you feel the difference?
Yes, I do. My issue is I've gotten so used to the controller mode that I'm kind of like, I like DVS is great, but I'm cool over here. Like,
right.
No,
go ahead.
No, I was just saying that, making that transition, it takes a second, but once I get into a comfort level, I'm good.
Right. It's so difficult to explain. And when we were shooting B-roll and everything this week for the video that we put up on YouTube, I was in there fiddling with it, and Kevin walks in the studio and he's just like, I have this look on my face. He's like, what? I'm like, it's that DVS mode. He goes, is it really that different? I'm like, it feels different. I think it's different. Maybe it's just your brain, but HID always has that funky hardware feel. And it's this was kind of a blessing. So it'll be interesting to see how many people get the Mark IIs, and then what the level is that, I'm fine with HID, or God, I can't believe that we've got DVS mode now. So
I think, DJing is a very personal thing, right? From crossfaders to mixers to turntable to needles, everything that encompasses that is a very personal feel. So we're also really intrigued as well to see, do people gravitate towards, using DVS for Serato, or are they happy with the USB, or do they use a hybrid of the two? My best advice is always that, just try it, and you'll work out what feels right for you. Good.
Yeah. There really isn't a wrong answer. Like you said, it's a very personal thing. And again, like we were talking earlier, no disrespect to people that use controllers or CDJs. It's the gear that you want to play on for the situation that you're in. Flipside, you were playing on NS6 the other day, weren't you?
Yeah. So I live in two spots. I live in Chicago and New York, and then I have like a range set up in New York, and I've been in Chicago for a couple weeks. And I didn't want to fly my gear, so I had brought my NS6 too. So it's a great controller that I can use and still do some simple juggles and mix and do my show. And it definitely feels comfortable because I mean the ideas, the concepts are still the same of what you want to do. Cue points, this and that, and then it's just being able to rock it on the range is just a different feeling because the scratching is different, but. In terms of like if you're just mixing EDM or doing this, the controllers they're still great as well. But I think these are kind of what I really would prefer. Right on.
Just a quick shout out: we are giving away a copy of Serato Suite today at the end of the live stream. So there's a little rolling banner down there at the bottom. Just go to that URL. I think Kevin's put up links in all of the streams. So just go to agiprodj.com/giveaway.html. It's just a quick entry to win. As long as you're an adult and live in the US, you're good to go. We'll pick out a winner at the end of the show. So make sure you enter your information to get on that free Serato Suite worth $300. Cool. So both you guys are using the 72 also, correct?
Yes. Yep. I love the 72.
Yeah.
I was using the 7 like this. I just really started using the 72 this week. I used it. I fell in love with the 70. But what I believe, me falling in love with the 70 made the 72 better when I got on it because, like you said, the personalization of your equipment, it's really important because I am so second nature that you want to kind of know where the buttons are without looking at them.
Without thinking.
And I've gotten so comfortable with the way that I do things that when I got back on the 72, especially with the tension fader, that made all of the difference in the world. The microphone echo, I'm a huge fanatic of that. But getting on the 72, it was the difference in night and day from having the 70 as my setup to the 72 because I am one of those. Me coming from vinyl, I do not like looking at the computer. Like I do
the
not
Serato
like
face.
It drives me crazy when you see DJs like my son DJs, and my son will just be staring at the computer, and I'll walk over and I'll close it, like just like stop looking at the computer, Yep. But I, even though I understand, I understand that logic, but to be able to have it that I can just glance down at my mixer to just check my placement, on cue points and waveforms and all the rest of that was great. Like I had a good time today.
Right on. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I think having the waveforms on the screen on the mixer, like when you're doing these, simple juggles and you want to make sure your cue point is at the right spot, you can just glance at it. Yep. Having the BPMs on there. I love having split cue on a mixer. I think that's like super duper important, especially for us at the Bulls when we need split cue because sometimes we have to go just all in ear because of, we don't want to disrupt the fans that are sitting there or whatever. And having split cue and doing everything in monitor is so key for me. The new faders are so smooth. I love the faders. And like Jeff said, the adjustment of the tension is great. Like there's so many personalizations that you can do in terms of the effects, having them all post fader. Like there's, I can do echo on one, reverb another, and like doing the quick switches. Like it's so awesome. I love how the loops are. I can jump from a 16 to a 2 just by changing with one button. There's like, it's so much more cohesive in the way that I like to DJ that it just makes like complete sense.
Yeah, right on. I 100% agree. 100%. A couple of the features that I know that the changes on the Mark II are pretty subtle. The tension adjustment on the front, the actual physical tension adjustment's pretty big deal. Which is, wow, that's right there. You can't really see that, but it's under the control. And then the other one is the toggle between mixer controls for instant doubles and then silent cue. And what's the other piece, Jay?
So sync on or off, silent cue, and instant doubles.
Right. Do either one of you guys use silent cue?
I have.
I haven't. I was shown and I was blown away, and I'm going to try to figure out a way to incorporate that.
Well, okay, so what I used to do is I would make a cue point at the end of a song and loop it so that when I'm doing so many things, I can let the record play at the same time, and then I could just hit the cue point. So it'd be like being able to, like a CDJ, you would just press on, like that's kind of what that mimics in my head is doing it like that, letting this record play. And instead of having to hit the cue button, the volume, and starting the record, I can just do it with one button.
Mm-hmm.
Flipside, do you have anything that you could pop in there and show that real quick? Not to just put you right on the spot, but let me get back to you on that. Okay, sounds good.
It's been a really kind of welcome feature. I know that a lot of DJs do actually a very similar thing to Flipside, where they're just kind of looping a little bit of silence at the end. So it's been really kind of good news because that first came with the 70. So obviously now it's with the 72. And there's also a firmware update for the original 72, 153, which brings that functionality also to the original 72 as well.
And that was released today, right, Jay?
That was indeed, yeah. So if you just go to rane.com/downloads, it's sitting there, as well as a new control panel that's Catalina compliant as well. So you'll be able to do the firmware updater and also the control panel as well. So the control panel actually also includes the settings for the new parameter functions for silent cue, instant doubles, and sync on or off. So you can set that all on the computer if you need as well.
That's fantastic, and that's again props to Rane for the day of releases of updates. Yes. So that's super cool. Fred, what's up? Thanks for joining us. Fred the Great's in the house. Jay, the other feature is the split DVS, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So you can now use the aux input as well as the phono and CD input for DVS. So I know that some DJs, when they were setting it up, if something went down, I think like with phase, for example, if that went down, you'd have to then uncable and recable stuff. So what we've done now is that you can have the traditional turntable phono output coming out and into the phono input, the mixer. Your then phase input, for example, could go into your line input or the aux input. Sorry. So if it does go down, it's just a setting straight in the mix that you can switch, and you can start playing regular vinyl as well. And DJs that want to flip between digital and playing traditional vinyl, super easy now. It's just one switch in the settings. And again, that is also coming in the 1.53 update for the original 72 as well. So we're not letting we're making sure that original 72 owners are being looked after as well, so they get those features. The other thing that the firmware update also gives original 72 owners the ability to put Mag4 faders in there as well. If they want a lighter fader, they can swap those out with the firmware update as well.
Yeah, we've had a couple of people ask in the comments when the Mag4s are going to be available. Are those coming soon? Available now?
Very, very soon. Very soon. Yeah.
I know the whole COVID thing screwed up supply chain and delayed everything. So I'm honestly shocked that we're even sitting here right now. So, which is,
hey, listen, do you know what? It's affected a lot of people all over the world in a variety of ways. So, a few weeks delays on shipping and stuff, we'll take that and get it out there as soon as we can.
Yep, for sure. So on the 12, in addition to the new DVS mode, which incidentally does support Serato DJ Pro, Virtual DJ, and Track.
Correct.
So
Correct.
we've now encompassed everybody. which is nice. So not everybody uses Serato DJ for sure. So Kevin uses Virtual DJ, so he's been in there fiddling around with Virtual DJ and the DVS mode also. So the other addition to the Mark II and the 12 are the controls, which is the back button, the infinite rotary, and the instant double button. Correct, Jay?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the idea was to give the 12 Mark II more freedom and independence as a controller. So as you said, it'll be USB and DVS control for Serato. So there's navigation on there, so you can scroll up and down playlists. There's a back button. There's also an instant doubles button on there as well. You've got the OLED screen, which will enable you to choose which platform you're controlling from. So you can either control via USB or via DVS, or you can actually do a hybrid of both of them as well. So again, we're really opening up that freedom for people to be able to pick and choose what is comfortable for them to use. So I should just point out that Serato DJ Pro, that is with USB and with DVS control. Virtual DJ also is either full USB control or DVS control, and with Tractor at the moment, it is just DVS control for the platter, but you can use it in hybrid mode and use the navigation tools and the hot cues for Tractor as well. So there's plenty of options. I know this is something new, so we have done like a full feature overview video to kind of really help explain this, so people can kind of understand what options they've got and they can play around and pick and choose, what works best for them.
Right on. Very cool. We have some questions from the audience. 916 Junglist, is Rane planning to continue licensing exclusive Serato DJ Pro, or do you see support for other in-music brands like Prime Engine?
I can't really comment on what is coming down the line, but we're all one big family in music, so who knows what the future holds, huh?
Right. Nice thing of having all these great brands under one umbrella. You guys can share and move technology and information across platforms. So
I just wanted to get in. This is my favorite feature of the 12, and I just hadn't mentioned it, and I really wanted to. It's the start-stop button is now a plunger. Yep. So, this for me is like, it now feels like a 1200. It's got that thing, you close your eyes, and it's the original 12 had more of a click button to it. This has just got that nice plunge action. It's so subtle, but for me, it's just, again, it's about kind of ensuring that full foundation turntable experience is there for DJs in the digital world. So small thing, but that's probably my favorite thing on there.
Yep, I touched on that in the video we put up this morning. It's so subtle, but it's such a satisfying little teeny upgrade. It made such a big difference.
It's always the little things,
Always. It's never the big ones.
Nope, not the monumental DVS mode or new controls or the new faders. It's the one little button, right?
Well, it's actually the button's the same. It's the carriage underneath, so it is really quite a small thing. The other one thing I should say as well, the platter has been slightly refined against the Mark I, so that you're going to get a lot better spin back, so that the control disc acrylic will move a lot more freely on the Mark II as well.
Yep, I noticed that this morning when we were setting up the live stream. The backspins was completely different. I thought it felt different.
They're lethal now. Be careful.
Right. Someone had asked when the Mark IIs are available. They are available right now. We've got them here.
Let's see that picture. Where's that picture?
Kevin, let's see that picture of the 12.
Hey.
So
one or two.
Wall of 12s. It's 2 or 3, I think we've got. So what else do we have for questions? 72 Mark. No, Kevin took that away. On the 72 Mark I, where is the instant doubles mapped to in the new firmware update?
So when you go to the hot cue pad mode, the 2 parameter buttons underneath, they don't do anything. When you upgrade to version 153 on the original 72, you will then be able to map those to either sync on or off. There will be instant doubles, and there will also be the silent cue on or off as well.
Which controls are those, Jay?
It's the 2 parameter buttons that sit underneath the 8 pads.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. And so I should point out as well, so that is in the hot cue mode, but if you go to any of the other pad modes, they still function as intended. It only affects just the parameter controls when the hot cue pad mode is selected.
So many modes, so much customization, and the ability to make things yours. It's fantastic.
Do you know what this is? Why it's one of my favorite mixes. And obviously, I'm going to say that because I work for Rane, but I like, I love the geekiness. I love the functionality. It's the most advanced Serato mixer out there, and the fact that you can MIDI map stuff in there as well. You can start kind of getting really noodly with it, and it's I don't want to go too much down that rabbit hole because we will be here all day. But
yeah, but not only is it like super technical, but it's also comfortable where even a simple person can come in there and say, okay, cue points, echo, I'm good. Like even a simple person can come in and see how easy it is to use this mixer.
Right. It's you can jump on it and feel comfortable, and then you have time to start fiddling and noodling around and really seeing what the different features are and the capabilities are for sure. Someone had posted a question what pricing is. The 72 Mark II internet price $18.99, and 12 Mark II internet price is $8.99. So it's a $100 increase over the original 12, but we've got the addition of the DSP on board, the OLED screen, the new controls, reworking of the platter. So that's pretty insignificant, price increase for some pretty significant features.
And a new start-stop button as well.
And a new start-stop button. For sure. Any other questions in the stream? Boom, 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 boom. Rane 12 start and stop delay, has it gotten any faster?
I'm not quite sure how to answer that.
Adjust your buffer settings?
Yeah. It's it acts and responds as you would expect it from a turntable. So that's a good suggestion, Ty. I would check out the buffer settings in Serato just to kind of increase the milliseconds a little bit and see if that helps. Yep,
it's a turntable. It's not a controller. So, Jeff, what's your favorite feature on the entire system right now? Like, what's the one thing that you just get super excited about when you play on the whole system?
Well, it's funny. I have always been this this person that I love tempo delays. Like, I love that if I'm playing a song and I say something on the mic, it's going to delay to the tempo of the song. And I was so happy when they added that. That because it kind of helps. And this is a crazy thing, but us just talking about the live streaming and how much the interaction with people, you say somebody's name with a delay on it, like people freak out. They come back every week for that. Like you
were doing that this morning during the stream, right?
I've had some people tell me, could I repeat their name with a delay on it?
Right.
But
let me just grab that from your live stream.
It's just it's just the subtle things. Like I really enjoyed that. I enjoy that now I can kind of set the fader tension how I want it. If I don't want it too heavy, I don't really like my faders too stiff. I don't like them too loose. I kind of like them in the middle. It's one of the things that Jay said, like DJing is a very personal thing. I used to tell people a baseball player never walks on the field and grabs someone else's glove. He has his own glove. It's tailored to his hand. This is how he likes it. This is the size he likes it. And that's how equipment is. Not everybody uses the same slip mats. Not everybody uses the same vinyl. Some people like thicker vinyl. Some people like thinner vinyl. Not everybody wants their faders, set the same way. And I think it's great that you can have a piece of equipment that is so detailed that when you walk up, it saves all of the parameters that you like in your mixer. That every time you go out and play on somebody else's 72 or somebody else's 70, you're going to get the same experience.
That's the glove analogy is great. I'm going to totally keep that.
Yeah, because people don't. I've had a lot of people, you know, would say, you know, it's whenever you walk up into a club, most DJs would put their own needles on. Most DJs would put their own slip mats on, and they would put their own records on. And that's all preference. So it's kind of like to be able to change, you know, even with the Rane vinyl, you know, I have my own Rane vinyl that I like, you know, I'll sometimes custom my own vinyl and drill my own holes because I want it to feel exactly like, you know, I want to be able to close my eyes and not think that I'm on anything other than what I've been on all my life. So when you have
it's that
gear
muscle
that
memory,
can do that. Yeah. And that's very, very important. You know, that, you know, is as much as you can move the technology muscle memory out of the way and make your muscle memory be about the music is the better performance.
Yeah. Jay, you had something to input, I think.
Yeah, I was interested to see Jeff from Flipside. Like, what do you guys thought of the new Mag 4 fader?
Oh, I love it. Very smooth.
Yeah,
Extremely
agreed.
smooth. And it's funny because you can almost, as a DJ, as soon as you get on a mixer and you touch the fader and do something, it's either a ooh or it's a ugh.
Yeah.
And that was definitely a ooh.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. The fader has a different comfort level to it. And I do love the fact that I don't have to, you know, I can adjust the tension on the outside. It's like a huge thing because if you know, I'm scratching and then my friend wants to jump in, he can just do a quick adjustment. It's so easy. That was like a huge change. I like this is going to be kind of nerdy as well. I liked how when you guys shipped the 72, it came with a little tube. If you wanted to lube it a little bit, like you supplied it for us, so it's like another little quick option. That's like, oh, that was so thoughtful of them, you know, to just, you know, to make that. But like the Mag 4 is phenomenal. I definitely loved the fact that there was an improvement. It's very smooth.
Yeah, I'm going to give Chris and Fred, the product guys, I'm going to give them a shout because they did a lot of research in Stat Lube. So that was a lot to make sure that the absolute best lube for that fader was shipped with it.
I don't think I've ever had the word lube said in a live stream. This is impressive. Anybody else want to throw it one more time? Wow.
Lube.
Yeah. But we know, like as DJs, we've had mixers where the faders have been so tough, and then you had to apply that, and then the fact that you just, you know, supplied it for us is very thoughtful.
Yeah.
Like you said, Jeff, you walk up to the hardware and you're like, ugh, I got to play on this tonight, really?
I've had a lot of those.
Right. Yeah, the 4 is impressive, and it is absolutely has much more a much lighter feel than the 3.
So that when that is available as a product, as I say, individually very soon, that will also come with its own little tube of lube. There you go. I'm even rhyming it in sentences now.
11 times.
That's awesome.
Flipside, what about you? You've been on the Mark II stuff for a while now. What when you walk up to this system, do you go, damn?
Okay. Well, obviously a lot of the original stuff was kept, so that made me already comfortable moving up to the next step. I actually absolutely love the instant doubles on the 12s. Just to have that simplicity of when I'm going back and forth to just have to hit a button and not to have to like double click on the mixer for the instant double. To do that on the 12s, it just makes it like one step less, and then it made it so much more. Just like, oh, you're loading up a song, boom, boom, juggle, instant double real quick, boom. You know, like just that small little thing was huge for me. I like how you have the quick change on the records too, like for the vinyl, like how you can just easily put that on and off because, you know, for the Bulls, we have different games, you know, like we have the St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, there you go. So to do the quick change is so awesome too. So like we don't have to unscrew it. So like for the St. Patrick's Day game, we can have green vinyl, you know, separate from our red vinyl, you know, like having that quick change is actually another simple thing that was really, really convenient. And just the simplicity of plugging it in and it works. Like, you know, one cable, USB cable. Like I don't have to RCA. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do a ground. Just one cable and it works. Like I don't have to worry about anything else. And like I just have to worry about my USB cables. But these are good cables, so you don't have to worry about them. So, but like that's the simplicity of it. But the how advanced it is what blows my mind. And it's just like Jeff was saying, it was just like it's so comfortable to. All the years that I've been DJing on vinyl, that it just feels like a second nature thing. That is it's so easy to go.
Yep, you walk up and you go, just feels good.
Yeah. I mean, and it's the same thing with the mixer. Like I don't want to be a broken record, but like Jeff was saying the same stuff. It's just how you can make everything so custom, where you can even change how like the low end of your echo and like how the filters go. Like you could change all these different things to customize it for me. Like this is how I do my sets. This is how I want my mixes to sound, and I can dial it in. Not just that's close enough. No, I could dial it in. Like this is it. This is where the echo is. It's just there's so many ways to make it personal, and that's what I really like about it.
And one thing that no one has said, it sounds great.
Yeah.
It sounds really, really good. Like anytime I've had someone say to me this morning, because this was the first time that I used the 72, someone said his stream sounds better today than it's ever sounded.
Wonder why. It might be that the 72 has the exact same sound card that has in it.
See?
Yeah.
And we know what that sounds like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Ryan Troop had asked, are the Mag 4s available yet? Coming soon, correct, Jay?
Very soon, yes. Very soon.
We don't have a price point. We don't have an internet price yet on those.
It'll be this month.
Okay. I meant price. There's no street price or anything set on
it. I will have to get back and just double check. That will be announced on the day, yeah.
Okay. And we'll definitely put up some posts on social media as soon as we have those faders available. We'll order in a bunch for people that want to upgrade. Kevin and I were talking, and this is how not salesy we are here at AGI Pro DJ. Is the 72 Mark II really isn't a mixer that you would go out and sell your original 72 and go and buy it, right? It's not that you have to go and dump your previous mixer to buy the Mark II version. It's for a guy that doesn't already own a 72, might be coming from a competitor's 2-channel mixer. It's really not an upgrade where you should feel compelled that you need to dump your previous investment and get the new Mark II version. I mean, there's some really great features on it, but the nice thing is that Rane released a firmware update today. The Mag 4 faders are coming. The only thing that you're not going to have is the external fader adjustment. So I think that's a huge testament to how Rane is. They really think about our community, right? They truly give a shit as far as I'm concerned. They didn't just leave everybody in the dust and say, damn, I just bought a 72. Now I've got to go and flip this, lose $500 and buy a new mixer. So nice job on that for sure. And same thing with the 12s, right? Like not everybody's going to have to go and dump their 12s to have the Mark IIs. But there are some pretty compelling features on the Mark IIs where I can see where there's going to be a lot of 12s in the secondary marketplace and people that are going to have this. So yeah, big difference.
We'll see, right? We'll see.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. Well, I'm not going to share sales numbers today, but I can tell you that's pretty accurate. So, Ryan Troop said he's selling his Mark I's. Yep. See, there you go. Any other questions? DJ True still has his 62 Z Trip bought from AGI Pro DJ. Wow. That was a long time ago.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's a relic now. Anybody else, Jeff or Flipside? You guys might have anything else you want to toss in the ring? Opinions?
Listen, I'm great. I'm happy that I have a multitude. Going from the 70 to the 72. I'm kind of like I can change and be happy wherever I go.
Right on.
Agreed.
Which one do you like better? And this is a really loaded question. Do you like 72 or the 70 better? Do you have a preference?
I am used to the 70. I have to use the 72. I'm going to leave the 72 up for a couple of streams, because what I realize is the more that I play on it, the more comfortable I get. And I'm just super comfortable on the, it's my very first stream after all of this happened, I did with the 12s and the 70. And I just never changed, it was I did it. And when the stream was over, I was shocked that I didn't notice the equipment. It was just very second nature. So then once you start using it and you understand where everything is, like I said, you can almost close your eyes and your hands can go to the buttons. That was the only little bit thing that I realized today, that my hand started drifting to a location that I was kind of like, oh, that's not there. That's here.
That's not there anymore.
But muscle memory is two, three sets and you're good. I will say I would love to do a sound test between the 70 and the 72, because for people to tell me how good it sounded today and me notice that it sounded, I'm kind of like, okay, I need to investigate this a little bit more.
Should be the same audio card, right?
It's the same components in there from the 70, 72, and 72 Mark II as well, yeah.
Because what I'm wondering is, me setting up the new mixer, then did I change a level? Did I do something? It was something that was dialed in that was a little bit different. So maybe I need to take a snapshot of my levels, because, even looking back at the stream, I was kind of like, yeah, that sounded really good.
It was probably maybe your tech guy on your stream, right?
Or did you have the subs on today?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
I also like the fact that you change the color of the knobs, how they're like brighter, so that like if you're in a dark club, you can actually you can see it a little easier. So that's like another little bonus.
Subtle differences.
Like the little things,
Yeah. It's the white. There's a white ring now around the high, mid, and low EQ. So for that exact reason, for when you're in the club, we all know what it's like DJing in clubs. So they'll pop out a little bit easier now.
Can't really see it as much, but yeah, you can still see the white parts of it. So kind of nice.
DJ Spider says, "Damn, I'm trying to figure out what streaming PC to get, and now I got to buy a new mixer."
Shout out to Spider.
Yeah.
Yes. DJ Spider in the house. What's up?
Flipside, what about you? 70 or 72?
72. 72. Yeah.
That was no hesitation.
Yeah. As much as the 70 is dope, like it's because it has the feel of the older Rane. What the other model? I forgot the number.
57.
57. But like I like the screen, man. Like I really like to be able to see everything and to see if like my waveforms are all loaded up and everything, and like changing the just changing like the echoes and then changing the beats, how simple it is, and being able to you can see the view of the songs when they're playing, like so it's just so easy to do all the loops and like trigger stuff, and I love the complexity of it, but the simplicity of it at the same time. Yeah. And that's what makes it easy for me. Like it's not even a question for me.
No, it's good. You were definitely quick off the mark there. It's it's very important for Rane to ensure that there was a choice of mixer for performance. The sound quality and everything was not going to waver between the two, but there are different types of DJs. Some DJs like Flipside, loves that complexity and wants to get in, wants all that, but other DJs are like, I want to access the effects just super quick. I just want to hit them like the kind of 62 off with them, and that's where the 70 will be the obvious mixer for you, because they're the radio button style effects. You can choose the effects super quick. The effects in, it's out, and you're done. So it's about kind of what kind of performance DJ are you. And most DJs know, and so they'll be naturally gravitate towards either the 70 or the 72.
And that's what makes it great, because you give that option. Like you have the option of the 70 and the 72 to please the guys that are on both worlds.
Flipside, do you have a favorite effect on the 72 that you like?
I mean, it's the simple echo, because I echo out every track because it for me.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. I thought I was the one that was like, oh my God, it's too much echo out. So
no,
it's
so
never too much echo.
Yeah, because to me, to have the echo, it just makes like a natural fade where if sometimes when you just do a straight cut and you hear the song end, it just doesn't, the flow is different. Yeah, so you, Jeff, you know. So like to even, it doesn't have to be something that's super, drawn out. It's just a simple echo out just to make the transition seem so much smoother. It makes it easy. So for me, the echo out is the easiest one. The delay, if I'm just doing like a 1 beat double delay or something like that, that's really easy for me. But and doing like pitch plays, like for tone plays and stuff like that, like that's super cool. And like I was saying earlier, the beat jumps, like that is actually when I'm playing like a really long house song, and sometimes I might, that's where I was supposed to mix out. I could always jump back and like come back. Okay, repeat that break, and they might not notice it if I just do a quick echo, beat jump back, and like doing that. That's the ease of being able to do that on this mixer is really awesome too. And then even for just setting cue points using the beat jump. So like, if I have a 32 beat intro, I can hit the cue. Let's for instance, show you an example. All right. Can you even see that really? Well, let's say
Kevin, can you zoom that in? You full screen flip. There we go.
There we go. Okay. So if I don't have any cue points, right, I could just hit the first one. So that'll be on the 1. And then if I go to auto loop, I have my beat jump functions on. So I can just jump 16 beats and then set the next cue. And then hit 16 beats and then hit the next cue. And then now I have a cue point on the 1, the 16, and the 32. So instead of like trying to fast forward and like, get to, the 16 count or count 16 counts, that I could just beat jump. And now I have, a beat here and then a beat there. And then that's how it like, you can set your cue points easily using that beat jump function.
That was a good one. I'm going to use that one.
Yeah,
oh man. I still, that saves me so much time. Like just setting cue points alone, that saves me so much time. It's incredible. Like just doing those little beat jumps just to set your cue points. And even with house music, so then you have the one set one on the 1 and then one on the 32 in and then a 64 in. Like you can just hit the beat jumps. So like if you're on my stream and there's some songs that I haven't played yet, you can see me like quickly going like setting cue points really, really quick just because I haven't played that song yet, but it speeds up time. You could do it on the fly. You could do it in the middle of a show and you don't even realize how simple that is.
Free nuggets, people. Hope everybody's paying attention.
Yeah.
DJ Avenue said, since no playlist 2020, coming back bigger and better for playlist 2021. Jeff, I think that's for you.
If the world does, I pay very close attention to, pay close attention to the trajectory of things.
Right.
And, I was telling people that right when all of this happened, I didn't feel like we were going to end up in a club this year. And that wasn't from what I wanted. That was just me being logical.
Yep.
So I'm curious to see, how, if we can flatten the curve, we can get rid of this to the point that we can kind of go back to just having people, the playlist is a very intimate gathering of creatives that the intimate gathering part is the thing that's scary right now. So.
Yeah.
6 feet wouldn't work at playlist at all.
No, not at all.
And truly, do you want a bunch of randos at your house? Not randos, but just a bunch of dudes at your house right now, right?
No. It's we are, like I said, I was one of the early COVID survivors, and that was the sickest I've ever been in my life. And I am absolutely terrified because I have no idea if I can get sick again. I don't have any idea, So until I am sure, we're just gonna we're just gonna hold tight until we figure out where this is going.
That's a smart move.
Yeah,
for sure.
It'll be a lot of streams.
Yep. Well, you know, and the people that pivoted early and started streaming early, it's very obvious those are the ones that are reaping those rewards. And it's obviously not the same as, you know, getting paid to play a big event or a big festival, but you guys are both at partner level. There's monetary value for being a partner. So you do have a potential to earn on your streams. So
yes,
if you're not streaming, do it.
Jeff, I actually have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you're doing all these streams, do you feel like your sets that you're doing in these streams are completely different than what you do when you're live at a show?
100%. 100%. I have talked to so many DJs that said they have never had more fun DJing now than they ever had, because you're not really looking at people in front of you feeling compelled to play for them. You are actually being a tastemaker. And that's what DJs were. You know, people looked at you to kind of put together a musical experience. And unfortunately, the phone has turned people into, I want to hear this right now. You know, even though that I can play it on the way to the club, I get to the club and I want you to play my favorite record. And I think this is really getting people back into the habit of, I don't know what he's going to play. And you can play a lot more stuff. I've played records that I've never played in a club in my life.
Yeah.
That I wanted to, but I also feel like, you know, and I said this earlier, we are setting what the new normal is going to be if and when we go back into a club. Like people unfortunately were used to hearing the same 15 records, and now those records aren't as prevalent anymore. Now people are becoming more open-minded to hearing a lot more music. And I think that's going to translate, you know, onto the club or onto a stage.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I know there's like, for being on the radio and doing like stuff like the Chicago Bulls and US Soccer and all these other things, that there's the stigma of this pop side that I have to do. But like, man, I'm a house head. Like, I'm from Chicago. So like, I love that I can, on my streams, I can play these deep cuts that people might not have never heard, but they ride with me because they understand this is, okay, I'm with you because I want to hear what you like. And I feel like that's kind of amazing. But like, Jeff, as a legend that you are, did you feel like you had that already, like when your live sets before, or is it, you feel like it's totally different?
I had it to a certain degree. I'm never going to fit a round peg in a square hole. So I'm not coming into a ginormous hip hop space and playing a house set. Yeah. But I don't consider myself a hip hop DJ because I was DJing before hip hop was around. You took everything. We had a crate of hip hop, we had a crate of R&B, a crate of house, a crate of reggae, and you picked in between those crates and you did that all night. And I have never not played like that. And I think the unhappiest that I've gotten in DJing was when you put yourself in environments that you had to be more confined. And it's kind of like, I don't know anybody on this earth that only likes one type of music. So I've always been someone that I want to give you a little bit of everything. And I always want to give you something that's unexpected. Like no one ever walks out of a club talking about the Drake record you played. It's that curveball that you gave them that they're like, I can't believe he played that. And I think the current situation allows for more curveballs. You know, I don't even like the fact that they're curveballs. These were the norm.
It's good music.
It was the norm.
Yeah. And now, like you have to say that it's a curveball, but I think we're making people understand that the landscape is open, and it's really putting the control back in the DJ's hands that I started to feel like we were starting to lose. That I think now people are understanding, you know, especially in the streaming world, the people who were forced into playing a set format of music are not really resonating in the streaming world. It's the people that are digging deep and doing things, you know, and I love it. You know, I love looking at somebody like Rich Medina playing an Afro set, Spinner playing his house sets. Like you know, I'm enjoying the fact that whenever I'm bored, I can go online right now and listen to somebody play and really enjoy it.
That's what's amazing. Yep. Who are the guys that you like watching now besides the ones you just named?
Shortcut is amazing.
Shortcut's amazing.
Like what, you know, and I've done a lot of stuff with Short. Short is very eclectic in all of the music he has, but the way that he's zeroing in and incorporating the videos, you know, Shortcut is amazing. Scratch Bastard is amazing. I did something with the Next Men in the UK and A Skills. Like those guys are amazing. Like, and you really are starting to see DJs' personalities come out a lot more. That it was kind of like, I'm not confined with having to play this. I can play whatever I want, and you are really enjoying it. I did something with Maceo from De La Soul, and I like his musical knowledge is so deep, but you don't ever really get a chance to see that until now. So I love it. I'll just randomly DJ surf, you know, now.
Yep.
And you know what? And this is kind of what we were talking about before, is that, you know, there's a big distance now between DJs and people that were consuming music, you know, in clubs or whatever, because you can't go into the clubs. But actually now there's such a big closeness because we can connect to, you know, DJs can connect people online. You'll see those communities, you know, and as you start doing regular shows, you start spotting the regulars that are coming in every week. And, you know, that's where you're starting to build up, and it's really nice and rewarding. And it's interesting here you talk about the music and the breadth of music that you play, because I think also, you know, as well as one DJ being able to, or each individual DJ being able to have that freedom to broaden the music that they want to play, but now there's such a choice for people to find new music or to listen to styles, because it's not about investing, you know, getting in a taxi to go to a club. Oh, I'm not really into this, but am I really going to go because all my friends are here? No, actually, I can just kind of flick around and go, oh, this guy sounds all right. This girl sounds great. You know, let's tune in. So, you know, it's nice to see that people are going to get, you know, the entertainment is still there, right? It's still being entertained.
Yeah.
I've been a part of some streams that there were a couple of people, for instance, DJ Puffy in Barbados. He was the Red Bull 3-style champion. He is amazing. But to watch people watch him play and not know who he is, and people are losing their minds, you might not have gave him the time of day in the club. But you watched him and you're like, who is this guy? And oh my God. And I love that, because I think, you know, like I said, I grew up at a time when your job as a DJ, you were basically you're the train conductor. You're driving the train. People didn't tell you where they wanted to go. They got on your train because they like your journey. And then all of a sudden, someone comes up to you with your phone in the club trying to tell you how to do your job. You know, and I think
doing this
is
man.
This is a little bit of a distance that is making people understand, I'm watching you because you know more than I do.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's totally agreed. And I feel great that I have this platform where I can play music, dig stuff, and, you know, not just play a club set. Like this is, you know, like I've seen people where they just did slow jams, or they just did like you know, like random stuff, and it's so different from what you hear normally. And I love this fact that we can play. Like we can play. You know, it's not just like catering. It's just, okay, I like this song because it mixes well with this song, not because you know it, but because they flow well together. You know, like this, I'll rock this acapella. You might not know it, but there's a reason for it, or like it's cool. You know, like it's not just it's like having all these DJs at our you know, in our hand. It's so amazing to be like, okay, I haven't gotten to see Miles Medina in a long time. Oh, he's online. There you go. I'll watch his set. You know, like I haven't got, you know, there's so many DJs that I'm just discovering are super dope. That I'm like, oh man, I've heard of you. No, your stream. Okay, cool. Now I can watch it and check in. And now I'm getting exposed to all these people, and it's vice versa, because there's a lot of people that didn't know who I was, but then because I got rated by their friend, they're like, oh, who's this? Who's Flipside? Oh, he's scratching. He's doing so. Oh, wow, this is a follow. So then like the whole community of Twitch has been so amazing and helped growing me and growing my brand and doing everything like that. And there's so much love that I think Twitch has been such a great platform for the DJ community in general, and for the music, us playing music, us being able to do what DJs are supposed to do, like not be a jukebox, but show our talent, show why we are different. And I think that's what's amazing about Twitch.
Yes.
Yep. You guys both touched on it, and I think that's super important. And I hope this is what we get to stick with after this live streaming goes away. Is you guys get to go back to being the dudes that broke the records. Like Flipside, you get to play the record because it's what you feel like you need to play next, not because of what somebody stuck their phone in your face or yelled at you or whatever.
I don't think this is going away. This is not going away. I think
depending on licensing.
Well, you know what? And I have a lot of faith that addressing that elephant in the room is going to come to a head, because this is me being a music maker for 30 something years, this has been a problem forever that we just never had to address. I think the fact that we are in this position and having to play music for people that are stuck in the house and give them some kind of a solace is all the more reason that I think we need to get in the room with the powers that be to work this situation out. I almost am scared to wonder what this would have been like without music.
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't even want to consider that, Jeff.
So, but I don't think this is going anywhere. I think this is one of those things that you're going to, you made a very interesting point about people, going into the clubs and live streaming from the clubs. I really believe that you are about to DJ for 1,000 people in the club and 10,000 people online.
Yeah.
Because there is going to be some people, I've spoken to some people that said, I'm never going into a club again. I'm freaked out and I'm not going in a club again. I'll invite my friends in my basement and have my own sound system, and we are going to party with you virtual as long as you do it. Yeah. So I think this is here.
You know what I've seen a lot of people doing, which again is taking that kind of live streaming just one step further from a listener's perspective. A lot of these people are sending the live streams to their TVs. So they've got these big 50, 60-inch TVs. And it's like, DJ Jazzy Jeff is in my front room. He's DJing for me and my 4 or 5 friends. We're all kind of being safe for the distancing, and again, it's that personal connection. It's very interesting to hear you talk about this. I also personally believe that this live streaming is not going away. It's a new form of entertainment and connection between DJs and fans of music. Working out how that works in a monetized is something that has to happen in order for it to be sustainable for DJs to continue making a living out of it. But, there are platforms that are coming through, and I think, I'm sure there are kind of crazy nerd geniuses behind the scenes right now that are just working on all these ways of going, how can we sell tickets? And it's a party with Flipside, and it's $5 $5 a night or $10 for a month's pass or whatever it may be. I'm sure this is all coming to give DJs the opportunity to entertain and still be able to do this as their livelihood and still pay the bills, put food on the table and entertain people. Yeah.
It's definitely been awesome to see like other DJs come in the room and show support and show love. And then like they say, like, if I'm at the club and my friends come visit me, and I get them in on the list or whatever, like, hey, you want a drink? And like, so they'll buy you a drink or whatever. But that's the same thing as like going to someone's channel and like, hey, I'll sub to your channel. That's like buying you a drink. That's showing support to all your other fellow DJs and supporting them. It's like, it's so amazing that how many DJs have been supporting other DJs on this platform. And I'm super grateful and I'm super thankful that everyone is showing love. And it's like, it's on that side of the social media, not the other.
Yeah. And you know what? If you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you get 1 free sub to donate to a DJ a month. Use it. Don't waste it. Use it.
Yep. Give it to somebody for sure.
Yes.
Show love.
There were some more comments. Kevin, can you pop up a couple of those comments again? Jeff, how do you feel about the Facebook copyright infringement with music playing live? Ugh. Yuck.
Like I said, this is a very big elephant in the room that needs to be addressed. And okay, so the way that I look at Facebook, the way that I look at Instagram is Facebook and Instagram is like going to the mall. Twitch is going to your favorite store in the mall. What happens when people see Flipside on Twitch, those are people that are coming to Twitch to see him. When people see Flipside on Facebook, you could be walking past and say, oh, there's Flipside. That's not necessarily a direct connection. And what happens, people are very afraid of real numbers. People, what I realize is if I got 60,000 people watching me on Facebook, maybe 20% of them are really there to see me. Most of them are walking by in the mall and notice that I'm there. The fan engagement that you have on a platform like Twitch, a platform like Mixcloud, is directly involved to you. So
that's a great way to put it.
We are expecting Facebook and Instagram to turn into something that they did not want to turn into in the first place.
Right.
Like, you know, I know this for a fact. Facebook and Instagram are kind of like, we enjoy the traffic, but we're not a music platform, and we're not going to pay for these licenses and all the rest of this stuff that we are screaming for them to pay. You almost have to go to a place that's designated for that. That I keep saying, everybody is mad, like they're shutting me off on Facebook. It's like, dude, you're DJing in the food court of the mall. Like because that's actually what it is. Maybe you should go into the place that's what it's meant for.
Yeah.
Everybody's paying attention, right? Them. These are like Jeff's gold nuggets today.
That was a genius way to put it too.
I mean, I only say this because I've been going through this kind of stuff my entire life, from a music producer to a DJ. It's always been this thing with copyright and music publishing and who owns it. And I don't understand that at a point in time when no one is buying music and no one is necessarily, you know, streaming music, when the DJs are playing music for people to enjoy, which helps your copyright, why would you stop them? But this is a conversation that you got to peel back all of the layers to figure out who is the person we need to talk to. If we want to fix this problem, who is it that we talk to? You know, because everybody is screaming at Instagram, everybody's screaming at Facebook, and they're kind of like, we're not the ones that's doing this. Somebody's going to Instagram and Facebook saying they're playing my music and I want them to stop.
Yeah, either pay me or shut it down.
Let's find out who they are. And I'll go a step farther. I even looked at it like, okay, just like some clubs have to pay a license so DJs can play their music, why don't you offer all of the DJs a fee that they have to pay so you just let them play whatever you want? And the reason why they won't do that is that's really addressing the elephant in the room, that you really want us to pay you to play your music after you basically own the lion's share of the publisher. Like, now you want to pick on the DJs that are playing music and upping your copyright. So this is one of those things that it's an uncomfortable conversation. Like, unfortunately, we're having to have on multiple levels, but this is a conversation that, you know, and I've posted it, that it's time for the DJs and the music publishers and all of these platforms to figure out and sit at the table and figure out what is it that we can do that we can be freely to play your music. You know,
you know what? So it kind of reminds me, you back every single record that was published back in the day, and still probably to the day now, is that public performance of this record is prohibitive. It's written on every record. If everyone actually took notice of that and then never played it in the club or on a radio station or everywhere it was, you'd sell none.
Yes.
And the amount of times people listen to a stream and go, "Oh, I forgot about that. That's going to get added to my Spotify playlist or my Tidal playlist or whatever it is." There's it's like it's the promotional aspect all over again.
Yes.
It's very frustrating. 100%. And Jeff, you're right. It's the elephant in the room, and it seems to be, well, we don't. It's them. Oh, it's them. It's them. It's them. It's like, come on. There's one person somewhere, or there's a group of team of people somewhere that have decided, for whatever reason, this is not going to happen, because this has been going on for too long now.
Yep. Yeah, like I'd even be okay with submitting a playlist if I had to. This is what I played today. So then, if Jeff, if you were saying, if we had to pay like a monthly fee or something like that, like, hey, these are the songs I played. This is where the money should go. Like, it's something as easy as that. Like, I can export my playlist in Serato. Like, that's not hard,
Right. Yep. It's definitely a topic that we're going to have to address for sure. For sure. There's a lot of people watching right now. Just to back to the original, topic, and we could go on about copyright and streaming for hours and hours, and we'll never get anywhere. Does anybody have any questions for Flipside, for DJ Jazzy Jeff, or for Jay on the new Mark II platform that we haven't touched on? Maybe you got to the stream late. Anybody have any direct questions? Pop them in the chat. We'll throw them up on the screen. What's the cat here? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? I don't see anything. Somebody had asked previously, Flipside, what your favorite echo settings were.
Let me try to show it here. Okay, I mean, it's really simple. It's just the Rane echo, and I just have like my dial here set at about 11 o'clock, in between 11 and 12. And then my knob here, I mean, it's about a quarter of the way through. And then you'll get. So that's kind of that. And then, but if I'm doing house, sometimes I'll just do it at the one beat. And it's just that simple. But then you could still go into it and then adjust the EQs of it and everything like that. But I mean, it's pretty simple, and that's why I like when you go into with this mixer and you go into any other club that has this mixer or any other setting. The settings are really easy to just adjust it the way I like it. So every time I mix, I should sound like me.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, you can see that, right?
Yep, 100%. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Anytime.
Fred Jones, Fred the Great says Mag 4 MSRP confirmed at $99. There you go.
There it is.
Direct from Fred.
Thank you, Fred.
Thanks, Fred. Appreciate it. Eric DT says, question for Jazz: when are you going to jump in that nice pool at your crib? Private moments, man.
Listen, I have a confession. I am terrified of water. That pool is for my kids. So there's a section of the pool that's just for me that you can stand up, and there's a section that you will never ever see me in. So
Jeff's all about that kiddie pool.
That's right. All day.
Yes.
For sure.
You need a hot tub. That's what it is.
Yes.
After you hit a certain amount of subs, then you'll jump in the pool, right?
There you go.
That'd be a lot of subs, right, Jeff?
Yes, that's a lot.
Chris says, Mojack said something about being able to have your phase and turntables both hooked up to the 72 at the same time. That's that dual DVS input, right, Jay?
Yeah, so basically, just to recap that one, Chris, is that you can, both the inputs at the back of each deck now can be assigned to take the DVS input. So the aux input as well as the phono and CD input. So if you wanted to set up, you could have your phase come in on the aux input. You could have your turntable coming on the phono input. So you can kind of do a mixture of both. Or if something goes wrong, you've got your turntables there to be able to play traditional vinyl as well. We'll have we'll have a video pretty soon that kind of takes a real deep dive into both the mixer and the 12. So if there is any questions that people did miss or still have anything, these will really help out.
That's a great feature because you used to only have 2 DVS inputs, so it was locked to 2, correct?
Yeah, it could only work in on the phono CD input.
Okay. What were we going to say, Flipside? I cut you off. Sorry about that.
Just make sure you follow Rane, and they'll give you all the information on their social medias.
Yep.
There you go.
I am KC for Jazzy Jeff. When is the next virtual concert with you and Will?
The funny thing is, this is the 30th anniversary of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and we had something massive planned. And of course, this kind of derailed everything. But if I know him, he's going to give me a call at some point in time with some outlandish idea that we should DA on the moon, and something's going to happen.
That sounds good. We'll be looking forward to that. Make sure you subscribe to Jeff. Keep an eye on him. That will definitely be all over the universe. And I look forward to the Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff concert on the moon or Mars. Thank you, Elon. Yeah.
Make sure you take your 12s with you. They are gravity defying.
Absolutely.
You don't want needles floating up into the air now.
All right.
Next level.
Yeah, exactly. We're headed towards wrapping this up. If you have not entered yet to the free giveaway for the Serato Suite, make sure you go to the URL down there below. And just a couple of bits of information, and we'll. I think Kevin's going to pick a winner here in a minute. We'll be ready to do. Someone had said, DJ Mass Appeal, if you were talking about the DVS update, that is part of the new firmware, correct, Jay?
That is correct. Yeah. So
70 or 72.
Yeah. So the
shouldn't call it old.
Update,
it's not really old.
Yeah.
So,
original. So the 72, if you update that to 153, that will give you the ability to install Mag 4 faders. You'll get the dual DVS inputs from aux and phono line, and you'll also be able to get the parameter buttons to be able to change them to silent Q, instant doubles, and also sync on or off as well. So you'll get a lot of the features that the Mark II has got.
Yep, there's a link right there in all the comments, rane.com/downloads. Yeah, I should take a second. Huge prop to Kevin, who's here in the office. We're spread apart here in the office, socially distanced, but Kevin's my man, running the show and driving everything. And he's the guy that makes all this live stream stuff happen here at AGI Pro DJ.
I live in the little circle.
Yeah, he lives in the little. There he is. He brings together all this amazing talent. He was able to coordinate with Jeff and with Flipside and with Jay and gets me in front of the camera and pushes me to get in there and make videos on YouTube. So a huge thank you to Kevin. Literally, this would not be possible without him. So, yeah.
Hey, I got a quick question. Flipside. Are you ready to go live?
I can be.
Okay. So for those of you following on Twitch, and if you're not watching on Twitch, as soon as this stream ends, Flipside is going to go live with a showcase demoing the whole Rane Mark II rig in his studio. It'll be on his channel. Flipside 33.
DJ Flipside 33.
DJ Flipside 33. So I'm going to bump you out so you can get set up on your side if you want. We want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Flipside.
Thanks for having me.
I'll see you in the stream.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, we'll see you in just
good.
a minute, man.
All right.
All right, so let me bump him.
All right, cool.
Let him get started.
Right on. And then any other questions from the Magnificent before we let Jeff go as well? Jeff, just, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate it. People, if you were not watching this stream, this man dropped some serious nuggets. I just really appreciated it, man.
Thank you.
Truly a blessing to have you on board and dropping some wisdom. And boy, we should have you back and talk about streaming and copyright and chop it up. So and anytime that you want to do a co-hosted set streaming, just let us know.
Oh, I sure will.
We'd love to put something together.
You know, we tried to get Zimmy to drive down from Portland to hang out with us in the studio, but he's still holed
He's
up
sitting
in
at
his
home.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
will not leave the house.
Yeah, Zimmy's not leaving.
He's not leaving the house. We actually, Ramon talked to you about a year and a half ago. So there's another interview that we talked to Jeff before one of his shows. So make sure and check out our YouTube channel and look at that other interview that we did with Jeff.
That was one of those 45 Destination Vinyl 45 shows.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
When are you going to do another 45 live set?
Well, you know what? We were going to do a 45 show like we did on the tour, and just getting some of the people together to, now we're just collecting the sets because everybody kind of wanted to record their sets instead of basically stream them live, and we want to just kind of play them.
Oh, you'll stack them and play them all back.
Yep.
Nice.
Very cool. That way you can just package them up and stream them back. So.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give a last call for giveaways. If you have not hit this link, let me put it one more time. We're going to draw in 3 minutes. So you have 3 minutes to fill this out across all platforms. It's in every chat and comment section. You can check it out and enter to win a free Serato DJ suite, courtesy of our friends at Serato, who obviously without their support, this product wouldn't be as awesome as it is.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Jeff. What else do you? I know you did the Wingstop show the other day. Do you have other like sponsored streams coming up other than like the pool party and the house parties?
I'm doing something tonight. It's a social justice conference. I'm doing the closing party tonight, and then I have my regular on Saturday. But this has been very interesting. I've been working a lot. You can almost tell when people are starting to realize that I think we're going to be here for a minute, and I need to figure out other options and avenues of entertaining. So I'm appreciating. I'm loving it.
Yep. If you're not streaming and you want to stay relevant at this point in life, you got to stream.
You have to. I've had so
no other
many
way.
of those conversations with DJs that I can tell so many of them are waiting like things are going to change. And I'm kind of like, I think you need to start putting plan B into effect because plan A, you might be off for a while for plan A.
Yeah, plan A was a while ago for sure.
Yes.
Yep. And it really isn't that tough. And just quick shameless plug for us. We can help you guys get going. If you're not streaming yet, we get you pointed in the right direction. Unfortunately, the streaming hardware is still fairly scarce. Again, supply chain stuff. When you see a capture card, grab it because that capture card won't be there in a couple of hours. If you don't have a streaming interface, grab it if you see one because it's not going to be there in a couple of hours. So people are definitely snapping up all that hardware
we are working. I'm working. I did a Zoom party, 50th birthday party for someone, and it was awesome. We are trying to figure out the right platforms to be able to invite people in to do events. The audios get like, I'm a stickler for good audio. I'm a stickler for no latency. And I didn't like audio on Zoom.
You did not?
We kind of tweaked it and took some compression and some of the back end stuff off, and it sounded better than I was used to it sounding. It's not how I would like, but I think there is definitely something, when we were doing that, my wife looked at me and realized that there's definitely something of you could technically have a house party and invite people. And because, when I did this birthday party, we sent out maybe about 80 Zoom links to the couple's friends and just rotated people in the screen, and people were in their house dancing. Like, it was an experience that the aha moment came off. And I was just kind of like, this could really be a thing that, a Friday night could really be the move in the fall. So
yep.
That's what we're just trying to tweak some of these avenues out. We kind of joked that I've realized from starting the stream, it seemed like every week somebody updated something and it knocked something out. That it was kind of like you do a perfect stream this week and then somebody wants to update and now it doesn't work with this, the capture card that this,
Right.
So, just it's a work in progress.
Yep. The technology struggle is real. Like it's fickle stuff. We the cable runs that we have here in the shop and it's, what just happened? Well, I think I bumped an HDMI cable and you have to plug it back in.
Yeah.
And so there's all these little things. And quick shout out, like if you're doing a Zoom party, make sure you set a password. There are people out there that are hacking Zoom parties and dropping inappropriate content and trying to take over. So if you do a Zoom party, make sure you set a password.
Yes.
Yeah, make it a private, set a password, or you're just asking for a world of problems. So, Kevin, do you have a winner yet? You do. I can't hear you. I can hear you, but they can't hear you. Standing by.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay. Let me grab a winner. I've got it highlighted here. Thank you to everybody that entered, clicked on the link. If you have other questions about any of this stuff, we're going to do our best to field every platform's comment messages. So we'll try and get back at you if you had questions. Other questions. Ramon wanted to jump in real quick. Turn your speakers down, Ramon. Do our best to field every platform's comment messages. So we'll try and get back at you.
Turn your speakers off. Or headphones.
Rookie.
I was trying to be in the background. What's up, Jeff? What's up, Jay? Good, man.
How you doing?
Winner is... Sorry, I got to switch my screen. So, Armando C. We're going to get you set up. I've got your email. I will send you a Serato DJ suite, courtesy of AGI Pro DJ and Serato. And you'll be all set.
Ramon, you said you had a question since you've echoed in here.
Yeah, I'm going to mute myself because I don't have headphones. I was honestly just thinking I was going to be in the background. No, overall, I just want to say thanks, Jay, for Jay and Jeff for everything you guys have done. Amazing products. We're super excited to launch them here at AGI and support the product. It's very important for us to keep pushing the envelope forward. And just Flipside and Jeff, you guys continue to push the envelope forward, and it's awesome to see. And it was a super cool moment was when Flipside was showing how he sets his cue points quickly through the beat jump, and you could just look at Jeff, and his mind's like, all right. Yeah. So it's awesome to that we still have a community of DJs, virtual, but it's there. So Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
It is virtual, but like we've all touched on today, we're closer than ever right now. Honestly, it feels like we are.
Yeah.
We're having meetings with people face to face with video. We're having conference calls. We're doing live streams, and we've got product representation from Rane. We've got Jazzy Jeff. We've got Flipside. This is stuff that we wouldn't have had all set up and ready to go before. You just say, hey, we want to jump on a conference call. And, you might be on a speakerphone and 3 people in a room, or you're just on a phone, or maybe it's just, a webcam. And there's all this technology that's in the way of bringing all these people together. But this event, as awful as it's been, I think has really pushed people, and especially just in our industry, it's brought everybody together. I think it has. It really feels like it has.
It has.
Yeah, for sure.
And I agree with you, Jeff. This isn't going away. When clubs open back up, it's not going away. And I hope that DJs are able to express themselves and be themselves in the club again, like it used to be.
Yes. Where
you're not the guy that's coming in there like a jukebox, because we're not jukebox.
Yes.
This is the new norm.
And I'm done. Jeff, Kevin, are we wrapped up? Okay, Jeff, thank you so much for your time, man.
I
really appreciate it. On behalf of everybody here on the AGI Pro DJ team, thank you for joining us. Flipside, thank you also. He's are we jumping on his Twitch, Kevin?
Yeah, we're gonna, everybody that's in Twitch right now, we're gonna raid Flipside, and you can see him play on and talk about the 12s and the 72 a little bit more. So if you're
side note, we didn't call each other all wear black T-shirts. That just happened.
Isn't it the uniform?
Yeah,
it's the DJ uniform for sure.
So super quick story. Jeff, when you were here in Eugene, we met up. and I was blown away by the number of black T-shirts that were on your rider
Yes.
on the table, which was awesome.
Listen, black doesn't show the sweat after a good DJ set.
Nope. It's invisible. It's my friend. It makes me smaller, just
Yes.
a teeny bit smaller. So yeah, slims me down just a hair. Because I've been eating through this entire thing. So,
Quarantine 15.
Jay, thank you so much also for joining us
And from London, nonetheless, which it's late there, right? You're
Yeah,
plus
so what
9,
time
so
is
it's
it?
what, going on 11?
No, it's not too late. It's like 7:30. It's all right. 7:30 at night, so we're all good. So listen, thank you very much for putting all this together and hosting it. And of course, Jeff could not have thought of a better way to announce a product. So thank you very much for that. An amazing set. And definitely looking forward to working more with you guys. Congrats to the winners. And again, thank you, everyone. Well done. Great job today. You've really helped wrap up the end of the today for us and made it a really amazing day. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Jay. Thanks for making this possible and supporting all the dealers and especially supporting us and making
Nobody else
fantastic
matters,
products.
just us.
Yeah, I don't really give a crap about anybody. Oh,
hang
no,
on,
of course.
hang on. Here we go.
What's up?
Hey.
There we go. All right, everybody. Thank you so much, Jeff. Again, thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
And we're out.
Take care,
We're gonna
guys.
Check out Flipside and make sure you stay tuned. We're going to raid Flipside and watch him talk about the new Mark II system and watch you set. Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Bye.
Take care.